We continue on with the North Shore's Rise to Power 4 Gladiators of the Cage. Sponsored in part by the Gold Buyers of Pittsburgh. It is a professional bout coming up next. It is Muhammad Abdullah versus Chris Dempsey here at a packed, solid stage AE.
Red corner, we need from the red corner, Muhammad Abdullah. Muhammad Abdullah, red corner.
And entering the arena now, Muhammad Abdullah making his way into stage AE, taking the long walk from the locker room.
And I got a chance to do a little bit more research on him, and you know, I found out that this guy, everybody kept talking about the Hurricane, you know, that this guy is mean, he's nasty. He comes in there trying to do anything it takes to win that fight. If he's got to hurt you, he's going to hurt you. And the last fight I saw him fight with Billy Poe, he ended up doing the most vicious knees I've ever seen before off the cage, which is, number one, difficult when somebody's pressing you up against a cage to throw a knee that can lift a human being in the air. I mean, it just shows you the power that he has. But on top of that, having you know, that meanness and his great knees, he has great cardio too. The guy would just continue going and going and going and going. But he likes to strike. 8 fights ending in TKO or KO, and then 4 of the fights ending in decision. So he's, you know, he can go to distance and he can knock you out.
16-5 as an amateur. That's a lot of amateur fights in MMA. Not very many at all in the boxing world, but in MMA, it's quite a bit of experience. And 3-0 as a pro. He specifically said we got to call him the Hurricane. So I imagine he's planning to storm the cage tonight and try to take out Chris Dempsey. But I will say Chris Dempsey doesn't stop. That guy can go 15 rounds.
Well, there will be a bad wind blowing when he steps up into the cage. The Hurricane, Muhammad Abdullah, 28 years of age, and he is inside the cage here at stage AE.
Yeah, he looks ready to go.
Dan Bogan
we need
again.
From the blue corner, Chris Dempsey. Chris Dempsey, blue corner.
Chris Dempsey, a hometown favorite here at Gladiators of the Cage, 26 years of age, and he is from right down the river in the Ambridge Sewickley area.
One thing I love about Chris Dempsey, he'll fight anybody. He's been the Gladiators of the Cage 185-pound champion, 205-pound champion. He will fight anybody that they put in front of him. And he'll tell you, he's been working on his stand-up with absolutely fantastic Tom Yankello, boxing trainer. That's been one of his weaknesses. But that doesn't stop Chris Dempsey from fighting guys. Even if they're great at stand-up, he will fight them. And it looks like both of these guys are game. I noticed that the Hurricane, Abdullah, he was clapping and raising his hands for everyone to cheer Chris Dempsey coming in. This is going to be a great fight.
Take a look at the Gold Buyers of Pittsburgh matchup here tonight. Abdullah, 6'1", 185 pounds, a record of 3-0 as a professional with a 73-inch reach. And Dempsey, 5 feet 11 inches tall, 185 pounds. He is 8-1 as a pro. His reach, 71 inches.
You got to look at Chris Dempsey. He has an incredible resume. Went 3-0 as an amateur, immediately decided to go pro, went 8-1.
Let's not forget Chris Dempsey's backed by Isaac Greeley, Eddie Vincent, the Matt Factory. Those guys are churning out champions.
Let's go to Dan Bogan in the ring.
Is it just me or did it get a little bit warmer in here? To paraphrase Rowdy Roddy Piper in the movie They Live, these two men came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. My friend Dan Lyon just texted me that the stage AE concession stand is all out of bubblegum. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for the Gladiators of the Cage Middleweight Championship of the World. Introducing in the red corner, weighing in at 183 pounds, he stands 6 feet 1 inches with a 73-inch reach. He is undefeated at 3-0, fighting out of Vision MMA. He's from Detroit, Michigan, Mohammed the Hurricane Abdullah. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 185 pounds. He stands 5'11". He has a 71-inch reach. His record is 8 wins, 1 loss. He fights out of the Mat Factory. He is the pride of Ambridge, Pennsylvania, the defending gladiator of the cage, middleweight champion of the world, Chris Dempsey.
Sir, are you ready? Sir, are you ready? Come on, let's bang!
Motown meets the Berg. Abdullah and Dempsey.
That was a nice knee right off the bat. Again, exactly what I said. He's got vicious knees, great striking, good footwork, good cardio.
You can tell Abdullah coming out like a hurricane, like his namesake. He really believes that Dempsey has nothing for him on the feet. He just hit Dempsey with a huge right hand. Big right. Dempsey's trying to keep the distance close. He's going to try to work from here. This is actually what Dempsey wants right here. Abdullah should separate. There he goes. He separates and should go back to striking. Dempsey's been working with Tom Yankello at World Class Boxing Gym. You know, Tom Yankello had world champion Paul Spadafora in his stable, still does. But Dempsey's getting rocked on the feet here, guys.
Mentioned Spadafora. He also had Berquan Kimbrough at one time.
Right.
These guys came to work, didn't they?
Absolutely. Dempsey's got to take his time. Use some footwork. Don't just stand there in front of Abdullah. Don't let him just keep coming in, throwing those big punches. Sidestep a little bit. Try to slip and move. Let this thing settle down.
I'm sorry, I'm zoning
Adam,
out.
I think you had an adrenaline dump. You were talking about adrenaline dumps. I think you had one.
I'm sorry, my hands are clammy.
Very exciting fight so far. Absolutely no question at Dempsey's heart. He missed with a big right there. One thing Abdullah's not going to do is take Chris Dempsey down, and this is right where Chris Dempsey wants to be. This is where he works every fight.
Listen to the crowd here at Stage AE.
The crowd comes to life here because this is Dempsey's backyard. This is where he fights, where he became champion. And they know this is where he does his best work. And so does Abdullah. That's why he's got his hand on the ground, not letting Dempsey land those knees. I believe they're going to work on changing that rule where you can't just put your hand down to avoid knees. But this is Dempsey's world right here. I have been submitted by him in this position. There's almost no getting out.
Let's see if Abdullah can.
Crowd is going nuts here for Dempsey. We can't even hear.
The Hurricane is now finding himself above the land and slowing down. Category 5 Hurricanes, when they're over the ocean, are one thing, but when they hit the land, whole different ball game. This is Dempsey's territory, and he's not going to stop.
Abdullah's looking for the Kimura right off the bat. He can try to pull guard. He's probably more or less just using it as an escape.
Abdullah holding on to that potential Kimura there. It's gone now.
Thunderous takedown.
Dempsey took over the fight as soon as he could get that distance closed. We can't forget, two-time Division II All-American wrestler, Chris Dempsey. This position right here is, he's been doing this since he was 5 years old.
This is a bad position for Abdullah. He cannot be in this position. He's got to either get to the cage, get his back against the cage. He's got to get those hooks out. This could be a fight ender here.
This is actually a better position for Abdullah to work from right here. If he can keep separating the hands of Dempsey, keep his feet on the ground like he is, and start walking his back up Dempsey's body, get a shoulder to the mat, you know, then he's in business getting out of this position.
You see the thing now, Chris Dempsey gets to relax. He's got to control. He gets to sit there and decide when he wants to end the fight.
Looking at the gold buyers of Pittsburgh clock, we're down under 50 seconds to go in the first round.
What Dempsey, the Hurricane is very athletic, and Dempsey's probably hoping or doesn't want him to be able to pull an athletic move and flip over into his guard.
He has the rear naked locked, but his chin is still inside. So the Hurricane's actually, he's doing okay.
This is exactly what Chris Dempsey wants. Remember, I said before, position before submission.
That's right.
He's gonna wanna keep position before, see, now he's lost a hook.
There's 10 seconds left in the round. Abdullah can't sit there.
I would like to see an elbow. If I'm Dempsey's coach, an elbow coming into that body hard.
Wow. Great round.
What an exciting fight.
The crowd is electric here at Stage AE.
Best corner right now, in my personal opinion, the best corner in the Pittsburgh area is in there with Chris Dempsey, Donnie Caker, Isaac Greeley.
Let's go back to the first round action. First, the takedown, a thunderous throwdown.
Pure strength and experience.
Notice how Abdullah never let go of that Kimura. He really wanted it. Now
here's the try for the choke right here.
He did a great job, Abdullah did, as far as defending.
Very good defense.
He kept his chin down. He kept it inside.
Feet on the ground, pushing back into Dempsey.
Right. Fantastic job. You see what his corners, Abdullah's corners actually had him do now. He's probably going to sit back a little bit more. Try to watch out for that takedown from
Well,
Dempsey.
I think going into the second round, the Hurricane's about a category 3 now and not a 5.
Dipping just a little bit, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he had to expend a lot of energy just to try to break free.
Oh, absolutely. It looks like he's starting to calm down a little bit. Same with Chris.
Dempsey wants to close the distance. He's trying huge shots, just missing by Abdullah. And here we go again, that necktie clinch.
There's that knee again. Now, the one thing that I've noticed, Abdullah has great combinations. He'll mix it up. And he took Chris Dempsey down.
Wow.
That in itself is difficult.
Absolutely.
This is a good fight. Happy St. Patty's Day, you guys.
I love seeing that you can see Chris Dempsey very comfortable, very comfortable.
Oh, he's got,
and he's
Wow.
What a catch.
Wow.
I was just about to say, Chris Dempsey on his back, he always looked like a fish out of water. And right there, he looked comfortable. He was thinking. He sat up, and he took his time, and he got the submission.
He's been working. He's been working. Great
What
job.
a great. Abdullah's coaches are standing in stunned silence, just stunned.
Let's look at it again. First, the takedown.
Now, Abdullah actually got the takedown on Chris Dempsey, which is a feat in itself, but immediately Chris went right to that guillotine.
Notice Chris like any good wrestler, he does not let his back touch the ground. And that position that he stayed in allowed him to finish that. He would not let his back touch the ground.
Here's the finish right here.
And I mean, that went on quick. As soon as he started squeezing, Abdullah was tapping.
The only time his back touched the ground was when he knew he had it sunk and he just was tightening it up.
Wow.
Signature win, defining win of Chris Dempsey's career.
Absolutely.
Fabulous, fabulous. Chris Dempsey from right down the Ohio River in Ambridge, Pennsylvania. Tremendous, tremendous effort here tonight. Let's go to Dan Bogan for the official announcement.
Let's hear it for both of these gladiators. That was one hell of a fight. Now the official time of the match. It ended at round 2, 56 seconds in by the guillotine choke tap out for your winner out of the blue corner, Chris Dempsey, retaining his title.
Tremendous, tremendous bout. Chris Dempsey wins it here,
guys, I'm excited.
In Pittsburgh tonight. And right now, let's go to Richie Walsh with Chris Dempsey in the ring.
All right, thanks, Chris. I guess you could say you turned a hurricane into a tropical storm.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I knew he was a tough fighter. I knew he had good stand-up. He came out. He definitely showed that he was a tough fighter with real good stand-up. And wanted to get it to the ground. That's where my strong suit was. And I managed to get it there, and I just finished it. So.
You heard the hometown crowd. How much did you feed off that, and how much did that help you?
I mean, it definitely helps being here in front of everybody I know, my family, my friends. It just motivates you to do better, just so your family, your friends are proud of yourself, just like you are.
You took control of this fight around the 3-minute mark of the first. How important was it to get this on the ground? You can see some of the highlights up there.
I mean, it was pretty important. He's definitely has very good hands, but I came out and I never really tried to use my stand-up before, and came out, didn't really have like a game plan other than to try to strike to get my takedown, but I felt like once I settled in and settled down that I felt a lot more comfortable on my feet, and I still wanted to get to the ground, but I wasn't really rushed to get there, so.
More gratifying that you get this win in the hometown?
Yeah, definitely, and I love fighting here in front of Pittsburgh, and I love all the support I get, and I really appreciate everybody here supporting me.
You want to thank anyone? I know you've been training with Tom Yankello. Anyone else you want to thank?
I want to train all the gyms I work out at, PTT, Mat Factory, trained down at Octagon MMA in Dallas for a little while, and Team Impact over in Ohio with Joey Holt and Josh Stansberry and them over there. And I want to thank all my sponsors, DNS Cranes, Low Card Tattoo, the Rehab Center, and Bearded Buck and Toast. I want to thank all of them. They helped me to be able to train and get the things I need to train to be able to perform well in here. So.
All right, Chris, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's give it up for Chris Dempsey. Improved to 9-1. Back to you, Chris.
Another tremendous bout here at Stage AE. We've got more professional action coming up. More Gladiators of the Cage next.